Did you guys hear anything? I didn't think so. Today, I'm going to show you the steps that we took to take the squeak out of our stairwell. I'm also going to go through the steps that we took to refinish the stairs, and you might notice that it looks a little unfinished on this side, and that's because in the next couple weeks we're going to build a banister, and we're also going to build baby gate number 2 for down here. So stick around. Now let's get started. You can see in this shot why the stairs squeak so bad. That large gap between the tread and the riser of the stairwell was just an open air gap. And this is what the treads look like from the top. We used some cheap drop cloths from Lowe's to seal off the entire stairwell so that we didn't get the rest of the house dusty, sealing from the top and all sides out to the front door, and it actually worked pretty well. This is what it looks like before I started sanding. Going to town with the sander. I sanded from about 6 to 11 p.m. one night doing this. Started with 80 grit and finished with 100, and I did this just so the tread wouldn't be too slippery once we had all the polyurethane on. And taping up the risers so that I can paint it, which this was a big change for the stairwell because it was all pretty much the same color of stain before. This added a lot of light and opened up the stairway, and it looks really, really great. My elf's working while I'm away making some dollars so that I can come home and stain the treads. And for this we used red mahogany Minwax stain, let it soak for a bit, and then wiped it off evenly. And this is what the treads look like. To finish and protect the treads, we are using Rust-Oleum Ultimate Polyurethane, and we use 3 coats of it, 2 coats of semi-gloss, and 1 coat of satin on the top. Simply use the semi-gloss because I had a gallon of it on hand. And I'm totally blown away with this polyurethane for everything that I finished to, whether I spray it or brush it. It just really does a fantastic job. Serafina helping me measure so that I can cut the trim. All the trim in our house I've cut and routed on our own, simply because it saves so much money. You can see here how badly I need to get my dust collection hooked up on this new table saw. I'm using the hand miter sled simply so I don't have to run up and down the stairs 1,000 times to cut these. It didn't take long to cut them, and they were suitably accurate for what we did. Nailing in place, and for the last little corner I used some polyurethane construction adhesive. And now moving underneath the stairs, here I am chipping away the previous homeowner's horrifying attempt to try to fix this squeak, just so I can make a bracket that will spread the weight load across the stairway joist instead of, right now, instead of just the opening. Serafina downstairs sweeping up my mess. So helpful. Numbering everything so that I can use my inside sliding measuring gauge to take some measurements. Once I have those measurements, I'm cutting out of 2x6s. A cross support and 2 side pieces, and I'm keeping track of them so I know which measurements they are, and this is only half of them. In total there was 26 of these pieces, and I'm cutting a dado so I can have a nice joint, and this table saw just ate through that. It was really a pleasure. And then I'm using a few pocket holes just so I can pull the tread down to this brace that I'm putting in. Pre-drilling and countersinking the holes so I don't crack the ends of my bracket. And to add some structural support I use, again, Loctite polyurethane construction adhesive. It doesn't run, and this stuff is downright evil, very, very strong. And here's stacks and stacks of these brackets, all numbered so I know exactly where they need to go. Putting them in place. I used pocket holes again to hold the tread down, and then 2-inch screws into the sides and into the front. And then there's a bead of polyurethane adhesive all along the top and on the back. And some of them need a little more persuasion to fit in. So that had to be one of the best improvements we've done in this house. This stairwell squeaked so badly before, and now I can't even tell if my wife is going into the office or coming up the stairs. So it's really fantastic. And like I said, in the next couple weeks we're going to be putting a banister on the one side, and then I'll also be building another one of these actuating parallelogram baby gates. So definitely stick around for that. If you're new to the channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. We put out a video pretty much every week, ranging from gnarly stuff like this to more simple things like the extension cord reel that's down below me. I'm Tyler, I like to do it myself, and we will see you next time.